So the brand new Pinnacle Weapon for the Season of Defiance is the Ecliptic Distaff. Now this Void Glaive, at first on face value, really isn't offering much to me, at least before we talked about it. The Enigma is another Void Glaive out there. It's the first one we ever got with the Witch Queen expansion, the first one we ever used. This is also an adaptive frame, same as the Ecliptic Distaff. So at first value, I was like, is it even worth it? Recently got it, used it, and I found out it has destabilizing rounds. I don't know how I missed it. And my God, I love this perk. Since I'm mainly rocking Void right now because Void is just king as a Titan, destabilizing rounds is something I want somewhere in my loadout, whether that's my Hero's Burden SMG, whether that's this new Glaive, shotguns, whatever drops with destabilizing rounds. I want it in my grasp because it's going to diversify but maintain the structure of my builds right now. So seeing this, it was a no-brainer. Now, there is also another weapon to talk about, which is a Void Glaive, and that is the Vex Caliber. Now, the only caveat here is that it is an exotic. So if you guys are looking to benefit like I have been recently with exotic primaries, this weapon may hinder your loadout a good bit. So this is where the Ecliptic Distaff definitely has some stuff on its side. And with the seasonal mods really catering towards volatile rounds, bricks from beyond, all this other stuff centered around Void, it's a no-brainer to use the stabilizing rounds and this Glaive. But that's not going to say if you guys like the Enigma, it's your go-to Void, that it's going to sway off. The Enigma has a lot of perks that this doesn't. It's also craftable. So for example, the Enigma has perks like Subsistence, Impulse Amplifier, Unrelenting, Frenzy, Rampage. These are some solid perks to have that this Ecliptic Distaff does not have. And honestly, it does set it apart a little bit. However, there's one thing that this new Pinnacle Glaive has that the Enigma doesn't, and that's destabilizing rounds. Now, I am in love with the stabilizing rounds. However, there is another perk that I must talk about called Close to Melee. Glaive projectile final blows improve Glaive melee damage. Glaive projectile or melee damage extends the duration of this buff. And specifically, 30% increased Glaive melee damage for 10 seconds upon scoring a Glaive projectile kill. Dealing projectile or melee damage extends the buff by a duration of 5 seconds up to 10 seconds. And this also persists through stow. So this is a very juicy perk. If you guys want to use it, use it. I've used it a little bit. It is really good, but my personal go-to based on my builds and what I'm trying to rock when it comes to Void Titan, the stabilizing rounds fulfills the needs of what I'm going for. Devour, Vortex, Weakening, Retrofit Escapade. Annotations will probably be going on the video showcasing a couple of those builds. My most recent one will definitely be here. Check it out. It's with Axiom War Rig. It is just juicy with the stabilizing rounds. But that's not all, folks. Yes, that's not all. These two perks are in one column, but there are also two other perks that are very unique to this weapon. I think they're also on the Vex Caliber in a catalyst way that operate a little bit differently, but we'll talk about it on this weapon mainly. Replenishing AGs or Agiles, whatever. Blocking damage partially reloads this weapon from reserve, so it's kind of a semi-defensive, subsistence. And when it comes to the other one, Immovable Object, dealing range damage grants increased weapon energy while you're stationary with your shield raised. So all these are based around blocking, and honestly, they're all pretty good. I use mainly Immovable Object. It's solid, it's great. But if the other one is something you want to float your boat, then by all means go. It also has Alloy Magazine, which faster reloads when magazine is empty. It's kind of where you're at with Glaives. You're always going to be empty. And then for the Barrel Ballistic Tuning, which increases the range by 15, shield duration gets a hit with -10, and the charge time also gets a hit with -10. But yeah, this weapon is something you should have. It's free Pinnacle, basically. So if you guys are doing Season of Defiance, you should get this because it's pretty damn good, and you just want this Pinnacle Weapon in your arsenal. Playing the game collectively, you should get it at some point. I don't see why people would struggle not to get it, especially with the ways that you can quickly rank up your vendors. This should definitely be an easy thing you guys get. But besides that, that's all I gotta say on this one. Let me know your thoughts on this weapon if you have it. If you guys want to drop a comment down below giving your feelings and thoughts towards this weapon, be free to do so. If you guys also found this video informative and want to support the channel in some way, drop this video a like, helps out the video a ton. And if you guys want to go beyond that and watch more content from me and you guys are new here, definitely hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified for when I drop more content. But besides that, that's all I got for this one. Strategy here, and I'm out.